And hello everybody to the Indy 500, 200 laps, 3 hours of chaos in 1953 cars. Don't ask why this is a 60s car, that is a random. Anyways, off of a slow start with these gears, with only the cars having 2 gears, not these gears. The cars have about 375 horsepower if I remember correctly, and tops out about 290 was the highest we got the car up to. But during this race, speeds on the back straightaway will mostly look like 250 to 280 kilometers per hour. And here is our start on lap number 1 of this full highlights of 40 minutes of chaos. Well, a little less than 40 minutes. Heading down the back straightaway in lap number 1, everyone seems to still be alive, but that's going to change in turn number 3, being the most difficult turn, and there is somebody into the wall. Looks like a brown car. Is some drifting happening from Zelton right now. Someone almost spins it, rejoins the track. Looks like it'd be Prost. And we're done with lap number 1 already. Out of these 200 laps, the first 3 people to finish 200 laps will be our podium. Anybody else will follow suit. If you do crash, you can respawn, but you have to wait 10 minutes to 5 minutes in the pits until you are able to come back out and continue your race. Somebody has crashed into the wall. Oh, a lot of carnage on the back straightaway has hit the wall, and it looks like the chassis is through over the barrier. Turn number 3 is not the most best turn to be on, as we can see multiple drivers going into turn number 3, and Zelton being one of them. He looks like he's crashed with Marines, has also crashed there in front. Lots of drivers hopping out of their cars. They're burning wreckages. I can count 3 drivers already on this turn alone. I think a total of 7 drivers already in the pits. Here is our leader at the moment. It is Max, but followed very closely by, looks like to be Carlos in second, and Vector in third at the moment on lap number 3. Heading down the back straightaway at the moment. Max goes a bit on the inside. Carlos trying to get around him. Oh, Carlos has hit the wall. He has hit the wall. It is only Max and Vector left competing for position number 1 early in the race. Basically, if you don't crash, you already have a huge advantage, as 10 minutes can be 10 to 12 laps here at Indy. See lots of people in the pits right now. And we also see lots of battles happening for the last podium position early in this race, especially Gus at the moment. There'll be a lot of lag, as there was over, I believe, almost 20 people here, but only a handful of them did start the race. I believe only 15 or 14 started the race. Oh! Almost hits the inside pole. This bridge does have a pole really close to the truck. You can see it back in the background. If you go off and hit that, you are basically done. Still on lap number 5 at the moment. Lots of cars and positions are currently happening right now. Here is our battle for the lead, and there is the lead given to Vector as Max goes over the barrier. Vector is now in the lead of the race of the Indy 500 from at least these recordings. See lots of people in pits still having to wait on lap number 6. Now on lap number 11, lots of these drivers are now starting to be able to leave the pits, including half of them, but the other half will have to wait a couple more minutes. We can see this will be one of our first lap cars that are going to be on track and not in pits. There is Vector lapping the first person of this race that's racing on track, not in the pits. Now, the first person to be lapped did happen on lap number 1 with a retirement after a crash at turn 3. Here is all of our drivers now finally leaving the pits after the first wave of them left earlier, and now here's the second wave. Some cars leaving without their rear ends, lots of damage. They have to try to merge into traffic. It's going to be a lot of chaos in turn number 1. In lag for sure. Lots of smoke coming up from these tires. Sliding the car all around and trying to keep it under control is definitely going to be a key element of trying to get the fastest consistent time around here. Woo. Lots of people battling each other out of pit lane. We're now closing in on lap number 14. There is more people leaving the pits finally. This race has been really competitive so far. Still lots of drivers competing for the win. Even somebody laps down could still win unless the leaders that did not crash on lap number 2 or 3 holds their advantage. There is over 4 people at the moment that has not crashed yet and has a couple lap advantage of about 10 laps, which may not seem a lot, but this is Indy 500 and every lap is only 50 seconds. So if you crash, your gap is basically gone. We can see going free wide down the backstretch. We see a couple lap cars being slow on the inside lane, as Vector currently leading this race with a huge gap of about 2 laps, which may not seem very big, but is a lot in this race. He is holding the lead with a dominant gap at the moment. Almost a quarter of the way there. We are now looking at Auto, or that's how I believe you say his name. Lots of debris still on turn number 3 of cars losing their rear ends and engine covers from smacking that wall. That wall is the most difficult as you are going 250 to 280 kilometers per hour trying to go into the turn that is only suitable for about 190 to 230. Oh my god! Kilometers per hour. There is a crash. That's what I'm talking about. That turn is really difficult. There is Max into the wall. And there it looks like to be maybe Infinite at the moment. Losing her engine cover. There's multiple yellow cars and different colored cars that look very similar. So it's a bit of a doozy to try to figure out who is who. Now on lap number 36. Price has been keeping his position in the top 6 at the moment. Pretty good for his debut race. Oh my god, I should have not spoke. Looking at the camera, he has lost his left side tires and he looks like to have tried to go back to the pits but could not make it. Lap number 40 with Diamond. We have not seen a lot of these drivers yet. We have I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but he does spin out. Looks like his engine does blow. Yeah, just looking away for 1 second, looking at the reports on my desk from the race news and updates, and looks up to just see Prost losing his left side tires. And here is an onboard footage with some drivers that do have a camera today. And there's a crash with one of them. That is the flip you see crashing at the moment. Why is there a 90 score? What the? Almost 1/4 of the way there, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I accidentally said 1/4 earlier. That was just until lap 100, if I did say that. Right now, looking at Marine's onboard camera, he has lost his engine cover, it looks like, but that may actually be a good thing, as that means the engine can stay more cool with the air passing right over it. But it looks like he's getting passed by P2 at the moment, Infinite, on his outside, so he is trying to keep up, but with some damage, he is struggling. Here it looks like to be our race leader right now at the moment, Vector, with his onboard cam. Going around the last turn to finish lap number 52 or 51, one of those two. There we go, and now we're on lap number 52. Got a bit confused. This is one of the last major Formula Classic races to be highlighted, though. The last one would actually be a day from now, which will probably come out in a week after this video. During posting, and that is the GPTX 1976 Nürburgring race. Lap number 59 at the moment. On board and watching Max, as I believe that's Vector behind him. Yes, it is. Lap number 60 now. Max looks like to be lapped. Same with Infinite. Vector has not even crashed once. Infinite has crashed a bit, but hasn't had to wait in the pits. She has only lost her back, I believe, but it has looked like to made a pit stop and repair it. Here is the rest of the pack, though, following behind Max. We have some retirements, though. Looks like we have a couple cars retirement from the race. Looks like we're only down to 12 people, I believe, at this moment. 12 to 15 people for sure. We have definitely lost a lot since the start. Around lap 50 is when the Joshin, or when people start getting tired from racing much. Now on lap number 67. We see lots of people in the pits. Looks like Marines definitely does crash again. Probably on turn number 3. Here is Vector to end our number to go on lap number 68. On lap number 69 now. And it looks like the flip has flipped outside the track. He's trying to find a way back in, but it looks like his engine is on the near edge of blowing up, which could be a decider in where he finishes. Here is looks like to be Prost on lap number 71. Towards the end of this race, lap highlights will probably get more spread out due to people not really having to fight each other due to a lot of people retiring and not much action happening. Right now we're looking at Marines on lap number 74. He is currently in the top 10, in 9th place at the moment, I believe, trying to chase down the flip, and is currently trying to run away from Zelton behind him, and Carlos behind him as well. He is our home racer today, but had a bad start with a couple of crashes, so he is not where he wants to be, but He doesn't really care about where he finishes. He's just happy to participate in this race today. And lots of people are actually happy to participate in this race today, like Max being one of them, and DeFlip. We saw them and we actually heard them talking in pits earlier, and they do say they are enjoying the race so far. They just wish their car wasn't as bad to drive though. Here right now, here's DeFlip actually, who I believe we were talking about earlier in lap 79. Almost halfway there, and currently living on a prayer. I mean, we kind of have to actually live on a prayer because one wrong mistake or mechanical failure, and you're hitting the wall above 200 kilometers. The average speed right now is about 200 kilometers to 210 kilometers per hour at the moment. Yes, we are using kilometers since the race accidentally used kilometers instead of miles this year. So yeah, that is our mistake. If you want to convert that, then go ahead. Which I probably actually will convert that for you in just a moment. So I'm gonna be quiet and I'll let you enjoy the next section of highlights for about a couple minutes. Having to come out of break right now. We did see someone wreck in front of him. Now on lap 89. Hope you all enjoy your break. I was able to calculate how much miles per hour it is. By the way, it is about 124 miles per hour to about 129 miles per hour that these guys are averaging at most. Now the top speeds we have seen today have been around the 170s to 175 miles per hour. That is the top speed we have seen today, set by Carlos, who is actually not doing well as he hoped due to all the crashes he has had, because he is the highest speed you go. Oh my god, there goes Zelton into the wall for I think a third time today. Third or fourth time. He goes over the barrier almost, but lands back. Now on lap number 95, we see someone is missing a wheel. Max has lost a wheel, and right now it looks like he's limping back to the pits, because if you limp back to the pits, it'll be a less amount of time you have to stay there if you did crash. So he's trying. It looks like he has made it back to the pits by just barely. Now we got reports Vector has made his first crash, but he has such a lead. He has a lap 98 lead over second place of Infinite. That is at 94 to 92. That is what I'm guessing. Nope, it is 92 at the moment. He has a great, oh my god, there goes Marine spinning on the infield of turn number 3. Looks like he has locked up his brakes. There goes Infinite going by. But that is so far the gap. So if Vector can get back out from serving his penalty in the pits, then he should be fine to hold on to the lead by just barely. He is now back out of the pits now. And because nobody was running in front of him and everybody was lapped, the lap counter did not change for about 5 to 10 minutes. But Infinite has caught up now. Infinite is only 1 to 2 laps behind him now. It is trying to hunt him down with her consistency. of trying to win the Indy 500. See, you don't want to have the fastest like what we see from Carlos. You want to have the most consistent run that you can. I would do like to say at the moment that the one commentating this is actually Marines. I did race in this race, and I do think it was a pretty fun experience to race and hang out with a bunch of drivers from all different types of leagues. We have Reefa, we have Endurance 60s, we have GPTX 1970s, and then we have a bunch of randoms from different categories and teams also coming here, like Enzo, who did show up but did not start the race due to mechanical failures. As we see someone slam into the wall, I mean, reaction isn't as much as it used to be, since it is now common to see people do slam into the wall, but it's not as common though anymore, thankfully. Here is Vector going a bit on the inside, currently trying to pass. Looks like the Marines and Carlos fighting each other, but not on the same lap. They are separated by about 50 laps. Here's a slow car. Vector goes around on lap 109. 8, not 9. My bad, everybody. I'm getting a bit tired. Stayed up trying to edit this. It took me about 7 hours after the race, which was exhausting itself. I gotta tell you, even if it was fun, it was 3 hours of just having to stay focused and try to keep the car not crashing. So it was pretty exhausting. And I did chug through a bunch of Gatorades through the experience, and root beers, gotta tell you that. Anyways, for you guys now, I'm gonna stay quiet for a couple laps until we get back. So enjoy the engine sounds you will hear. Now we are back on lap 120 after our momentary break. It looks like to almost advance about 20 laps, 20 to 15 laps since the last time we talked. Vector is currently still holding lead with a dominant lead of over 7 to 8 laps on Infinite, but that can change as Infinite is slowly catching up with her, trying to push now towards the end of this race. So we can see, it looks like to be Marines or Carlos in the background trying to keep up with Vector, but Vector is fast around this track, passing a couple of slow cars for sure. Oh, the slow cars hit the wall in turn number 1, heading into the grandstands, but we will continue the race even if somebody has died. Now on lap 121. See a burning wreckage of a car and a couple of body panels everywhere, but we are still good to race since there will be basically no full course yellow cautions, only corner yellow cautions, basically just trying to warn them of debris, but most of the time they don't even slow down, which is completely fine. I mean, it's go at your own risk, and people are putting a lot of risk today of trying to win this race, since the prize, if you do win this race, is 2,000 Robux for first place, which is a lot for these drivers. These drivers are trying their best to try to get the prize, but some of them are not even trying to care about the prize and just going and racing for the fun of it. lap 125. Only 75 laps left to go. Looks like Vector is trying to lap Infinite again, but Infinite is defending a lot and is not letting him pass. No, wait. Yes, that is Infinite. Okay, there was 2 yellow cars. I was a bit confused. That is Max ahead of him, who's currently running 4th place at the moment. Nope, 5th place. My bad, everybody. Just got a bit confused since the updates come in every 10 minutes. Or about 10 laps. So we do not see the updates right away. So sometimes when positions do change, we don't get alerted in time. Infinite looks like to be not allowing Vector. Oh, no, Vector gets by on turn number 1. But it is a close battle with, looks like Marine's following them, even though he is over 50 to 40 laps behind at the moment. He is only about lap 86 at the moment after crashing 2 times. And this moment has been about an hour and 45 minutes since the start of the race. These people are now getting tired. Our drivers are going to have to try to push through the last section of the race, almost closing in on the 2-hour mark into lap 128. Oh, lots of wrecks happening. Almost hits the wall by Marines, but this battle has been going on for several laps, about 5 to 8 laps now at the moment. I believe it is just a conga line of 1 lapped car by a lot, 1 lapped car by a little in first place. Currently all heading down the back straightaway. It looks like Marines is trying to pass Infinite now. Lots of bold moves from the Midwestern himself, Marines, who is trying to look like to unlap himself, but it's going to be futile. There is Zelton, though. Oh, Zelton has hit a curb and has spun into the wall, but looks like he's fine to continue. He'll probably pull into the pits, it looks like. Sorry for the break, everyone. Now on lap 144 currently, with Vector still leading. The race is now slowing down at the moment, with laps now skimming real fast. Lap 155. Infinite looking like to pull into the pits at a very high speed, hitting her own crewman. Oh my god. Hops out of a car to respawn it and fix the car at the moment. crash, but it looks like to be, who is that? That is one car. I believe he's so far in the mid-pack, but he has hit the wall really badly. Lots of debris coming off. Looks like it was probably a 2-car or 1-car pile up. Oh my lord. Now we're in lap 169. Very close to finishing this race. It has been a total of 2 hours and 10 minutes since the start of this race, and we are only just 30 laps basically away from this race ending. Vector has only crashed one time actually during this whole race. So he has done really well, but Infinite has crashed a bit, but hasn't done what Vector has, have to wait in the pit for 10 minutes. She has only had lost body panels and has fixed it. 179 now, 30 laps remain. We will sit back and enjoy these last couple of laps with only a handful of drivers. Looks like to be 9 drivers left in the race. Bad crash by, looks like to be the 1 car we saw earlier crash. I think that is DeLorean, maybe? Nope, that is not DeLorean, I don't think. Maybe it is DeLorean. He's currently holding 3rd place at the moment. Oh my, incredible save by Carlos. I don't know how he has done it. He has not lost any wheels. He was chasing down Marines, trying to catch up to Marines actually. He is caught up with only being 25 laps behind Marines. But I don't think it'll be enough time until the end of this race, as we're already almost to lap 180, only on lap 178 right now. And so far, closing in on finishing the Formula Classic Indy 500. Justin, looks like Carlos has set the fastest lap of the race. And lots of people crashing on turn number 3 still. Oh my lord, lots of carnage. We see, looks like fireballs and people, or drivers must I say, hopping out of the cars to not be burned alive. Vector has crossed to make it 180 at the moment. Someone looks like to be exiting pit lane as well. This race stay and kill. This race still can change. I don't know what I just said. I think I'm going crazy. But basically, with only a short amount of laps left, only 16 laps left, or about 20 minutes to 16 minutes IRL, the race is basically concluded in Vector's favor unless he crashes, with Infinite only being 4 laps behind now. It will be a close race if Vector does crash. And here, coming up soon, will be one final showdown. Currently, last lap, nothing really happened on the last 15 laps. It has just been Vector, Vector, and Vector. Currently looking like to try to lap somebody before he has finished his final lap to win the Indy 500. He has only 2 corners left until he has done it. And this will be a historic moment in his career. He came from the Ford GT Endurance team in the Endurance server and has came to actually beat multiple people who have raced these cars before, showing them that different classes and different cars doesn't matter to some skilled drivers. He will come across the line to win the Indy 500. on our cooldown lap right now. We can see him start to celebrate, but still pushing the car to try to get around to pit lane. But it looks like he's slowly letting off the throttle, letting the crowd cheer, and letting his engine finally start to cool down. But you see him start slowing down to the other driver who has to keep going to see if he has a chance to get in the podium. Coming around very shortly to the pit lane. I bet his crew will be happy with his performance today with their car. And he will be able to live freely and take a rest after this. He is pulling into pits now to celebrate his win and his dedication of 3 hours of racing. And this will be, I believe, the last Indy 500 FC that we will see. I am very happy to document this race. Here is now our results. Here's about on mid-pack. And here is about our last finishing results of the day. About 20 cars entered, but only a couple really started. Thanks to SHYGUY for helping me host the event.